It's an honor to be your commander-in-chief. Despite our repeated warnings, Qaddafi continued his reckless policy of intimidation, his relentless pursuit of terror. He counted on America to be passive. He counted wrong. I warned that there should be no place on earth where terrorists can rest and train and practice their deadly skills. I meant it. I said that we would act with others if possible, and alone if necessary, to ensure that terrorists have no sanctuary anywhere.
Ronald Reagan talking about how he took action and was about to take action in 1986 against Muammar Gaddafi's Libya, who wanted to dominate the northern Africa and also thought would rule over the Middle East. Do you remember that, Joan?
Oh, boy, do I remember that. I remember going to the White House and reporting on his administration and interviewing both President Reagan and Nancy Reagan as well. And thinking back, I mean, who would have thought that here we would be at this point in time?
Now he's 68 years old.
Yes. And that we would still not just be contending with this, but have it at such an escalated level.
Right. Here he was on an umbrella last Thursday, Joan Lunden, in the dark, in a beat-up truck, talking to the people of Libya. Say, don't worry, things are going to be fine. And we're looking at a mini Michael Jackson situation. But that's who we're dealing with. Joan Lunden's here. Since Joan left Good Morning America as arguably one of the most popular anchors in the history of news, you've moved on as an entrepreneur. And your story that you told me on the break really resonates with our audience. You have to share, because we talk about starting up a business and what you have to go through and how you did it. Give me an example. For example, you have an idea, you want to bring it to market. You're Joan Lunden. You can get anything done. What's the struggle to bringing an idea to market?
It is a struggle. And, you know, I've said to you that I'm a real woman's advocate and family advocate, having 7 children. I've got 3 girls in their 20s and 2 sets of twins. One's turned 6 today. Happy birthday, Kim and Jack. And the other's almost 8. And, you know, I'm all over the country all the time with the different shows that I do and out speaking. So I connect with women. And my husband and I, as we were kind of wrangling the little twins one day, and my husband says, we need one of those leashes. And I said, I don't really like the idea of a leash, but you're right. We need to come up with some kind of an idea that will replace that will work. So my husband owns summer camps for children. So children are, the development of children are very much his life. And we came up with a concept for kindercord. And we went through a year-long process of finding a patent attorney, patenting the idea, going to a product development company, and helping them for their help in developing the product so that it would be safe, and finally then going to China to have it produced, having to produce all the different pieces in 7 or 8 different factories, because if you do it all in one factory, they'll knock you off and get to market faster than your head, than you can imagine. And then finally, Jeff and I, my husband and I, just called, Toys R Us, and we went in and had an appointment, and we said, we've got this great idea. We showed them how it worked. It's a kindercord. It's like a little Swatch watch. Your child wears one. You wear one. It has a little cord that comes out, attaches, and it can't come apart. And that way your child can go a little ways away, but not far enough away to get lost or hurt. And we launched it nationwide a couple of years ago. But it is a daunting process that would really take most budding entrepreneurs to their knees.
And soak them dry, unless you had
soak them dry. It's not. It costs us a lot of money.
And just to be encouraged quick, you say China's done something. Now that they realize we got our manufacturing there for cheap, they're starting to raise the prices from the materials to the labor.
Well, now here I am starting this line of home bedding, the Joan Lunden home line. And I have found from last year, producing the very first collection to producing the collection that I'm premiering Thursday night from 7 to 8 o'clock on QVC.
That's Eastern time?
That's Eastern time, yes, 7 to 8 p.m. So much has changed. In China, they kind of realize that they got us where they want to have us, and we've just moved all of our production over there. The cost of cotton has risen dramatically over the last year. Labor, it has almost become impossible for a lot of manufacturers to continue doing bedding and sheets and things. And I just wish we would use this as an opportunity to bring a lot of the manufacturing back home to this
Did
country.
you try to build it here and you realized you try to make it? You can't.
You can't if you're going to come in at
a price that'll be competitive.
Right. And the problem is that, your big box stores, the really big box stores have gotten used to these, I think, almost unrealistically low prices that they've been able to bring goods in from China. And now all of a sudden China's raising the prices and the stores are having a standoff. So I'm not quite sure where the answer will come.
Real quick, and with lightning round, some of the things that are happening in the news that if you're on Good Morning America, you'd be talking about tomorrow. The standoff in Wisconsin with the governor saying, I don't want to collectively bargain with public unions anymore when it comes to salaries. 14 Democratic senators leave, state senators leave. They have not come back. Is there a winner or loser here? And what's the message?
Ooh, I don't know if there is a winner or a loser. It kind of holds true to what I was just saying. Couldn't we bring some manufacturing back to this country? Part of the problem, obviously, are the cost of the employees because of the unions. But at the same time, unions got developed in this country to protect the employees for very good reasons.
What about this thing where you leave if you're out voting? Isn't
that
un-American?
To me, that's
essence?
un-American. You don't leave office. You don't leave the Congress.
State.
You don't leave the state Senate because you don't like what's going on. Can you imagine one of us getting up and walking off because we didn't like... that's just so far from what I perceive as reality. You don't get up and walk off a show.
Right now, the president's approval ratings in the mid-40s. It was up around 50s after the Tucson tragedy, but now it's coming back down. Does this remind you of an arc of a Carter, of a Ford, of a Reagan, of a Bush? Does this remind you of anything, of all the elections you've covered?
Well, yeah. A lot of our presidents have gone through periods of being, where they were so... had such a high disapproval rating that I figured that there was no way that they'd ever get reelected, and we reelect them. So it happens time and again, and I think we're going to see it go back and forth. But for Obama, it all is dependent on the events of the day, both internationally and nationally, like this one.
When I was first getting involved in the news and politics, it used to be a niche thing. Well, yeah, are you into politics? Are you into the news? Is it just me, Joan, or wherever I go, people are more tapped in and interested and passionate?
Yes. Charlie Gibson, we used to laugh. He used to say, if we had to put on a resume, you should call us a generalist. We have to know a little bit about everything so we can carry on conversations. He said, but you don't know a lot necessarily about any one thing. But I think that even the general public today are so much more tapped in because of social media, because they can go right to their phones or to their laptop, and they can see what's going on in the far reaches of the world.
And, Joe, when we want to see you, it would be Thursday at 7 o'clock. On
Thursday
QVC?
night, this Thursday night, the 3rd, from 7 to 8 p.m. I'll be on 1 hour on QVC.
And you got to come in. Our door is always open because you have the passion for news. And if you want to talk about it, our door is open, Joe.
I'll come for another play date here with you.
That would be fantastic. And it was great meeting your daughter, Lindsay, and thanks so much.